Hello! This is such a weird setup because since I'm going to be moving all the books around, I wanted to make sure that was framed as good as possible. All right. So we do have someone here already, even. I wasn't sure. Just a tip for when you're doing a live stream, like telling people before it starts in 10 minutes is a really good idea. Like I mentioned it in a video earlier this week, but at the same time, I don't think I didn't actually post like the video link or anything. So probably not the best idea, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some people coming up. So but yeah, hey, this is just kind of an impromptu need to organize my shelves because I've acquired a lot of books, as I always do, because I have a problem. Um, and I specifically over the holiday season, I have a bunch that need to go on the shelf. A lot of them over here, some over there, some kind of everywhere. And so I'm gonna try and figure that out. Yeah, the Wheel of Time used to be on like the top actual shelf before I moved it up there, but I love the way it looks like behind the logo and everything too. So I thought that was really nice. And right now it's all the books because this middle shelf, my wife had it made. It's actually the exact correct width you need for the entire series, plus New Spring, the prequel, and the encyclopedia. Like it's designed to perfectly fit those. And so since it's up top now, I have a little bit more room. So I have the Warrior of Altai up there, and I have that new Origins Wheel of Time, and then I have the first Conan book Robert Jordan did up there too, just because I had just enough room. I have the second one, but there's not any more room up there, so I can't really do anything with it. So yeah, it's the top middle here probably won't change because I like Crown of Stars, and then I have a lot of Sanderson, and then the Sanderson continues down here. But yeah, most everything else is somewhat open to change. Um, I very specifically have more of Words of Light and Shadow books that are going to need to join those, and some replacements. Um, New Spring is yeah, I like New Spring just fine. It's one of those things where I'm with the consensus that reading it after book 5 is good. It's kind of a nice break and it gives you some background, but it's also like if you don't read it, you're not going to miss a ton. If you're like really really big and you want some of that background, it's interesting, but it's because of what it is and it being a novella, it's not super necessary. Hey, Kay. I'm probably not going to be. I'm going to be keeping track and responding, and I'm using headphones so that as I walk around, I should still hopefully be clear as long as they don't die. Because I also didn't fully charge them before this. Because obviously, I'm a planner, guys. Oh, we actually have several people have joined. So hello all. I'm just 10 time away, but yeah, I'm basically going to be doing some reorganizing here, and you're completely welcome to judge things I'm moving, not moving, all your opinions. Tell me you hate the way I did it. Um, I'm gonna try to not like upset people because I joked with the Faithful and the Fallen books, which that's part of this. I literally people were so mad at me for having 2 and 2, so I bought the 2 I didn't have so that I now have uh, all 4. So I that'll hopefully look better now. Hi, Alex. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we have those, and we have some more Wars of Light and Shadow books that are going to need to find a spot here. We have, which I'm super happy about. Andrew sent me his beautiful hardcovers of Greenbone Saga. So those are going to have to go somewhere. So I only had Jade City, and it was in paperback, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. So my library had the hardcovers, so I read them from the library. But after finishing Jade Legacy, I'm like, yeah, I need to get copies for sure. We got some Tad Williams shelf joinings. That should be pretty easy. So I'll probably do this first because these have a specific spot that they go. It's just going to be how they fit. So Dragon Mage is going to need a new spot. I should have made more room to put books too. I didn't think this through at all. I normally just sort of do this, And I never really thought to do this live, but several people had made comments like, "Oh, it's a really fun thing to do live," and I'm like, "All right, let's do it." So I figured, we can hang out and chat. Oh, that's not going to fit. Oh no. Okay. So we take out Otherland. I feel like we're going to still not quite be right. This is why reorganizing shelves is so hard, because finding things that just fit perfectly is such a pain. And this is why I don't do it super often. Oh, you see, like a dream shelf. Well, thank you. I do really like my shelves. It's the one in the middle is like really big, and the other ones are mostly just like from Target. But since they're all black and kind of fit in, because these fit just in here, and so I always like the way it looks. Oh, it looks like my wife popped in. So tell her all that I need more shelves and I need more books. So yeah. And we got Mike Bowman. Hey. So this is a good excuse not to write. And if you need another excuse, Andrew's doing live sprints here in a bit. I didn't realize that I partially double booked. So Jane, Faithful and Fall is really good. It's a very kind of classic style, sword and sorcery style almost. Very fast paced. It's one too. It's another one where people like talk it up so much, and it takes a bit to get going for me. Like Malice, I thought was fine. I liked Valor more, and then the last two are what really sold it for me. So sometimes books just take a bit to get going, for sure. So here's the first question. Let's see how bad this looks and if it upsets people. Because I have hardcovers for Stone of Farewell and Green Angel Tower, but getting Dragonbone Chair and hardcover is like insanely hard and expensive. And so I have this tall paperback, which isn't the same size. And I felt like it was going to drive me crazy having it set up like this, which is why it was on top. So I don't know. That's still kind of, I said, having that slightly smaller book, because it's I don't know how I feel about that at all. But so I know for Faithful and the Fallen too, we get to take the UK paperback set off. I also got a full-size copy of The Warrior, so that's going to go off. So I have replacements. I probably also should have gotten my unhaul box out, actually. I'm going to do that slightly off screen for a minute. I have a plastic tote I keep books in for unhauls to keep it cleaner. So, and then I can probably put stuff on top of this. I like this plan. That sounds good. So let's back it there. Now things are falling over already. That's the problem with with reorganizing. So here are going to be some more problems too, because Faithful and the Fallen would probably fit here about perfect with the other large paperbacks that are Orbit, and that's where I have John Glenn now. But then I have to drop Farseer. I love Farseer here. And maybe that'll have to change for this shelf. We'll have to see. Let's see, I'm going to try and actually check these. Yes, Gene, doing an essay is probably much more important than watching me organize my shelves. I don't blame you at all. So this is, like I said, it's a reorganized stream. So it's not the most exciting stream by any means. So I wasn't really sure how many people would show up to something like this, but people wanted to see it. So hey, so let's see here. I'm gonna just see if Faithful and the Fallen will fit here. Let's take off ours here a moment. Would probably be. I also don't know if people will be mad if I have the series out of order, but my of Blood and Bone aren't the same size, and it annoys me, so I don't really want to display them more prominently. Because books 1 I think book 1 is the only one that's like the right size, and the rest are off. It's really irritating. And this, of course, also is not going to quite fit. Oh, this is gonna be really interesting. Huh. So let's see. What if we move Lycanius? Then can I put Farseer back? Is it not gonna be big enough? That's like a tiny space, but that's actually pretty decent. So that could work. We're also going to have to take stuff down here. I'm going to take these down. These are Morden's Need, which is a duology, very long duology, really sized from Stephen R. Donaldson, because most everything else here I'd like to keep here. So let's see what'll fit there. Actually, my Ocean at the End of the Lane, I had this on my fancy bookshelf, which is a completely normal bookshelf. It just says fancy books on it. And I put it here as a filler at one point. So that actually probably could be something to move. So let's see. Where did I put Wars of Light and Shadows? Over here. So 9, 10. What's Grand Conspiracy? Is this 8? This comes after Grand Conspiracy. These are also different sizes, which is really irritating because there's a bunch of different publishers for this series. And so these are my favorite right here, because these 4 have, they're consistent with the style. They've got the original art. I love the art on book 1 too, but it's a slightly smaller size. And then I have Trader's Knot here, which is Misha Merlin. And so that's a different size. And then these 2 just have different design and art. This is what the paperbacks look like. And I don't mind it, but at the same time, I wish it was more consistent, to be honest. So this is volume 10. Storm Fortress. Okay. So yeah, so this comes after Trader's Knot. And then there's a book between these 2, but there's no hardcover that exists for it. So I can't get the hardcover. So I'm going to have to get a paperback and just probably not have it displayed because there's not room to do these ones up top. That actually fits almost perfectly as well, though. So that part's going pretty good so far, actually. Yeah. Okay. So we still have a lot of stuff to fill in, though, which I'm now questioning if I'm going to have to lean over being frame here. I'm going to have to take the UK paperback shelf and drop that, because I don't really want to drop the Hobb books, but I have probably enough bigger books to go there in comparison. So this is where things get kind of difficult. Unless I change stuff here, which I could change stuff here, potentially. How much space am I going to need? Let's find out. To you, you still here. You can feel free to comment and whatnot. I know this is kind of me talking to myself, but that almost fits. It's not quite gonna fit though, is it? So that should probably find a home. Dragon Maid should probably find a home like Canius. What other stuff I can probably take out? Let's see what room I can find. So I'm taking off. This is a hardcover I got off Book Outlet that I haven't read, and I just put it there because I had space. And probably Black Company. I'm still not sure if I'm going to actually continue Black Company or not, to be honest. I read the first bind up, and I thought it was solid overall, but I wasn't a crazy big fan of it. And so if I need space to move it, that might be a good thing. Oh, and you know what? Actually, here's a huge chunk of space. I should probably take these Shannara books. This is one of those series where I've had Heritage for a long time. And then I got the other two bind-ups, because Heritage is in the middle, I think. The other two bind-ups at Half Price Books. And they look nice. I just don't know if I'm ever going to actually read these other ones. And this takes up a lot of space, especially this last one, which is like 1,400 pages, because they made the print really large for some reason in order to make it seem like it was a lot bigger than it was. So that gives me a nice chunk of room. I could always... Oh, it's headphones are dying. So if you can't hear me, let me know. I might have to switch to just the webcam microphone and talk real loud. Because like I said, I wasn't super smart and didn't charge these. So if you're there and can hear me, let me know if I still sound okay. Because I should be able to get a few more minutes at least, I think. I can probably... I've got Republic of Thieves as the only hardcover I have of the series, because I found it and I'm just like, I'm going to grab it. I don't know how hard the others are to find a hardcover, but probably hard. So I can move that if I need to. So with that, let's scoot that over. And we can put Greenbone right up here. And that fits because it's slightly bigger. But, all right, I'm going to switch. Oh, I'm going to switch microphones. Give me one sec. It automatically muted me, but I think it should be working now. Yeah, okay. So let me know if I'm hard to hear and I'll talk louder when I'm moving around. But that should fix it. Okay. So yeah, the Greenbone will fit nicely up here. I try to, with the hardcovers, keep them in the same size as well, because you have the smaller and larger sizes. So I usually try to do the slightly taller ones all next to each other and the other ones not. Greenbones are the slightly taller. And so is Prince of Thorns, because this is that special one. That's just really pretty. And the other ones in this shelf are the slightly smaller ones. So I figure it probably fits that motif. That gives me a little more room too. I'm going to slap Dragon Mage up here, which is a smaller one. So we'll put it next to the smaller ones. Leaves me a little bit of room there. So we will see. And I can probably get Lycanius down there. It's a little lower than I wanted to put Lycanius, but unless I move the UK paperbacks, that might just have to be where they go, I guess. We'll put them there for now. This is all subject to change. Usually after I start reorganizing, I just keep looking and decide that other things still aren't quite right. Oh, is that going to fit? Almost perfectly. It might. Oh no. Nearly. Ooh, that's a little tight. So take. Don't yell at me. I'm still gonna read these. I might just move them from the shelf. Then we put Anius there. Once I finish book 2, I'm doing Name of All Things, Book 2 and Chorus of Dragons on audio right now. Let me tell you, a book made for audio. It the first one I was kind of mixed on, which I've talked about. It took me a while to get used to the format, and then I felt the ending was kind of rushed, which is what ultimately hurt my grade. But doing on audio, it's a story where things are being relayed to other characters, like speaking or in a letter, and so having it narrated works super well. And when a different character is telling the story, there's a different narrator. So there's 3 different narrators, and it's pretty cool. Having a fun time with it. A rainbow shelf. I've actually never ever organized by color, but I feel like if I was going to do that, it would have to be this one because I got Jade Legacy, at least, or the Jade Greenbone books, which are multicolored. But I don't know what other color I'd put there. I could reorganize a little bit to have more like of the red and the blue. Will that help if I put like Red Queen's War and Magician here? Those are the other 2 that have color. Just move over. I should probably do it. Now it's weird because the Lawrence aren't next to each other, though. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna put it back. I say there's a few different colors here. You're gonna have to like tell me which books I should coordinate for rainbow if I'm gonna do that. I don't know how I feel about that. It's got pushed back for some reason. So that's actually a good chunk. That went pretty quickly. I'm still gonna have to find obviously something to fill this one in, but that went pretty well. The other thing I was gonna do, which I've been thinking about, and I think I'm going to, I have a bunch of these Paper Mill Classics, which are these nice looking books. And I have these on the shelf that's not here in my office is where I have these. And I have like my other, like my, leather bound books, like my Barnes and Noble one, my Sanderson ones, a few others I have are like fancier books I keep out there all together. And I had these there too, but I was running out of space. So I think I'm going to take all the miscellaneous Discworld books from here. I'm going to keep all of the fancy Discworld books up here. I think I might take the miscellaneous ones that are all just mass market paperbacks of various sizes and conditions, and then put these up here instead. Because that'll, I think, look nice. And these are, like I said, they're just miscellaneous mass market. And I used to have both sides were Discworld, but then after that, after I got some of them in the hardcover ones from Andrew, he was getting rid of some of them, so I bought them off him. I had more room. So here we go, Alex. If you're still with me, you can tell me the order of these. Some of these have color. Most of them don't, but some of them have color. I can put all the dark colored ones on the same side. I grabbed too many books. Oh no. I swear no books were harmed. I also don't know how these are all going to fit. Oh, what do I got? Rainbow would drive me nuts, still trying to get over Great Ordeal, the different size than the other 6 books. I hate it so much when books are different sizes. It does really, really upset me. And I'm trying to just let it go because it's, now that I have all of them, barring, like I said, Wars of Light and Shadow has one book, Storm Fortress, that has no hardcover. Allegedly, there's a UK only like book club size that exists, but you can only get it in the UK. And there's like, they're not even really available, and it would be really expensive to try and get one. Yeah, just having two of a different size out of the set is annoying. But I mean, like, this is ROC, Harper Prism, Harper Prism, Harper Prism, EOS, Misha Merlin, and then last two Harper Voyager. So it's like that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different. I'm assuming Harper Prism is just now Harper Voyager, but still 4 different publishers for the same series. It's a little irritating, but yeah, it's not the old color, but these are in no particular order anyway. So if you want these in different order, let me know. Should I keep the like the gold ones? That was actually not on purpose. Should I do that or alternate? I don't know. Let me know. I'll have to they don't quite fit. I've got a lot of these. They have a ton that I don't have either, but Book Outlet usually has a bunch of them, and they're so cheap. And I just kind of liked collecting them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find something that's a similar size to those two, because they do not fill the shelf even with the bookend. What? Let's see what size these even are in comparison. Yeah, it's about that. Okay, so it's about this size. So I could probably grab some of these. I have a decent amount of books that size, but then that's potentially going to mess up the UK paperback shelf. Still could be a mess. Oh no! This is where it's getting more difficult. My only hardcovers are ones I couldn't wait for, last two GRM and God Is Not Willing, which is not saying. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I have God Is Not Willing in paperback. I think they did both at release. Yeah. Because I got it on Book Outlet, because like all of his books go on Book Outlet. So I don't know. These are mostly all the same size. I have one, but I was tempted to get hardcover, but I just I've been collecting in the paperback size. I have a couple of others in this size, so I just figured I'd stick with it. The other thing that makes the shelves a little bit weird is I have a shelf where I took out a lot of the first books in series that I plan to read. So there's a lot of series where only the other two are on here, because I used to just do a filler book, but I wanted to specifically separate them, which nobody's actually commented on, I don't think, yet. But that's where I put back book 2 of this series because it fits, and that way I won't have to change it later. So we'll have to see. But so yeah, these are the same size as the kind of smaller hardcovers, which I don't really know, if it's a UK hardcover size is what these are, because I've got several in this size, and I'm pretty sure at least one of them is, I don't know. I wonder if it's a UK size, because these kind of smaller hardcovers. But then I also have some paperbacks that are that size, so I'm not really sure what's going on with it. But I can probably put these up here. They are pretty well the same size, mostly. Oh, do-do-do. What do I got room for? One more? Yeah, we'll stick. Willful Child, Erickson's sci-fi book. That's like a Star Trek parody or something. All right, so that has made a lot of room. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, never mind. Those are different. What size are these? Is this the same size? This is the same size. I literally just moved things off that shelf and realized I have books that are that size. So maybe that'll work if I refill this out. Because it's a mix of paperback and hardcover, but it is all the same size. I wonder if I've got other things. I do have a few. We can add the warrior with the coward here. Stick Winds of Strife on. That's what I noticed. I had some of the self-pub books that are also this kind of in the middle size, which works. So what other self-pub book do I have here that's going to be that size? I'm sure I have some. Nope, too small. Is this UK size? Ah, it's slightly bigger. Women of Ash and Shadow is going to be an interesting one, apparently, because it's a slightly different size. Are these? No, those are also slightly bigger than UK. Gotta make it so darn hard sometimes with the slightly off sizes. Let's see. Those are too small. It's too small. What is... Will Gerzel fit here? And that is slightly too tall. I just put it on the other side. It's still too tall, dang it. Yeah, Gerzel's another one. Interesting size, which is why I don't have it up here. I have Bottom Hill up there. Is that fits? Well, that's the right size. Leaves me with just a small amount of room. Take those. You know what? I am just going to slide Gerzel on the side. I don't think it'll be that noticeable down there with the size difference. Like, you'll still see it, but in the corner, I think it's probably fine. So, I'm still not sure that I like the Dragon Bone chair, though. I think that's going to drive me a little bit nuts. So that's probably not going to stay. But this is the short size. I don't know if I have anything else that'll fit there instead, because it was a little too big for the other one. So I have one of the other Lent books, and it was just slightly too big for that. But it is a Tad Williams shelf. That still leaves space. Can I get this to fit here, though? Oh, wait a minute. Before I go and try to put something there, I also totally forgot that I went looking for... Oh, no, I did that. I did do that one. Well, I mean, it's been going for about 35 minutes. So I did do a lot of reorganizing so far. But I just forgot some sections. So I can point out what I did in case you want to judge it and tell me if I'm wrong. I just got done putting Dragon Bone Chair paperback back up here because it annoyed me having it next to these. I'm still kind of trying to figure out here. I took all my mismatched Discworld books down and put these up here, which I'm wondering how I should mix up so that they don't blend together, because in that lighting, these are kind of blending together. So maybe I should mix those up, but I don't know. Added some things there. We added the extra Wars of Light and Shadow books. We added the full-size Faithful and the Fallen collection here. We still got to figure out here. I added some stuff here. That's kind of what we've done so far. No changes to the middle shelf, which I was potentially, this I haven't read and it's just here. Usually most things in the top two I have read, but I could move this series out if I needed the room. But so far it's been okay. So it just depends if I want to move any of the things over here, which I might, possibly. I wanted to keep the other Steve Hunter Donaldson books together, but I don't have anything else I want to take off this shelf to make it fit, because I need this much space for Wars of Light and Shadow. So that's where it gets kind of tough with there. But yeah, so a lot of changes over here mostly is what we've done so far. So why aren't Gerzel? Oh my gosh, I even said no one was going to notice. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? They're different sizes, okay? Bottom Hill is up here because it's a paperback. And I just snuck Gerzel in. I just snuck it in just a moment ago before you came. They're very different sizes. See? Hey, Shot. And hey, Tarek. Yeah, there's a lot of books in my chair and sitting here, and I have a lot more. I still need to figure some out, but yeah. So maybe I should take Gerzel back off. I don't have anything else that's the same size as Gerzel is the problem, because it's not a full size hardcover. It's not the same as even like the slightly smaller size, and it's not quite the same size as the tall paperbacks, but it's taller than the UK paperbacks, and it's taller than the UK hardcovers, just barely. And so that's, yeah. This is one of those awkward sized books. I'm not sure where to put it. I love the way it stands out on a shelf, so I'd like to have it up there, but I just don't know where to put it. And that was why I changed, but I had Bottom Hill up here because Bottom Hill is the right size, and that way I'm at least repping one of the Anonymous books, was my thought process there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a quandary. See, right now, though, I want to fit this back on the shelf because this is, I randomly found this at actually half-price books when I was in Indiana visiting Andrew. And it's a Subterranean Press signed Tad Williams book. It's got to be on the shelf somewhere. But I don't quite have enough room in the spots I was looking at. And that's where we run into trouble. So I still kind of feel like I'd rather have this up here. Set you on top of Wheel of Time for a minute. But then something that's not Tad Williams is going to need to go up to the Tad Williams shelf to make room is the tough thing. Which right now is not going to be that because that's a full size. This is the struggle. I need a book that'll fit here and is the slightly smaller hardcover size and is also... Oh no, I forgot to put this back before I put books up here. Way to go. Slap you here. Oh, bookend is falling. Okay. So of course I discovered this after I found more books to put over here. I think I actually still have enough room though for a hardcover here. Just barely. Just barely. Maybe. Oof. That's a little tight, but it fits. That's what she said. Couldn't resist. All right. That's a little, okay. We might have to put something else there. It's a little heavy on those other books. What are you? You're the right size. We'll do that. Okay, now there's some room. Haha! Okay, we're making some progress. Making some progress. All right, what do we got? I started reading Crown of Stars, book 2. Yes! I love book 2. It has one of the worst covers, but I love it anyway. Because I love this book, and that's why I get to make fun of the cover, because this was so good. It's like, I really liked the first book, but this book, I feel like it had some of the most like perfect transitions I have ever read. It just flowed so amazingly well. And then book 3 is the one I wasn't a huge fan of, but a lot of people really, really like that one. Book 4 is probably my favorite of the whole series for reasons that I can't get into without spoilers. And the last 3 just awesome too. So there's several people actually reading Crown of Stars lately, and it makes me so happy because I've been trying to get people to read Crown of Stars for what feels like so long at this point. And so it's really awesome that people are reading it now. So it's what I like to hear. Oh, that's what I realized. I've still got the Curse of Chalion needs to go back on the shelf over here with the other Bugilled. So that's why I figured I probably should. Oh, probably should put that on before Finding Room, because that. See how once again mostly fills it up. But then we got to put this somewhere. I have room here. I don't have room here. Why? Why do you make this so hard? That'll almost fit. See, this is another one where I've got, these are the same publisher, but the first book is a little bit smaller. I feel like, yeah, that'll just barely fit here still. So we're still okay. We're still okay. Yeah, that'll work. So we still need something to finish out the Tad Williams shelf. Which Tad book is that? This one? This is, I was just saying this a moment ago. This is a Stark and Wormy Night, and this is random Subterranean Press signed copy I found at Half Price Books. Or if you didn't mean that, what I was holding a minute ago is Dark Moon by David Gemmell. But I have, that was my problem, is I have one of the Otherland books. Oh, that's where I put that. And this was up there before, but after getting into the Narrow Dark and Brothers of the Wind, it doesn't quite fit anymore. And so I couldn't fit both. So like a Stark and Wormy Night fits, but not both. And then there's a little bit of room. And I only have one of the Otherland books, so I figured if one of them has to leave the shelf, that's probably going to be the one. I think you're much more concerned with book height than I. That's probably. I tell you what, okay, I wish it didn't annoy me, but it does so much. And I really try to organize my shelves so that they actually, look nice and are the right heights. And there are a few times where it's not, because like, for example, the very top shelf here, these are all the same size and these are all the same size. They're different in the middle, but because this tilts a little, it's harder to tell that it's not. But like these are all the same size hardcover. These are all the same size paperback, and the same here, and like all different sizes. And so I try to do that. I try to do like because the paperbacks sometimes have a similar thing to the hardcovers where they're a little bit bigger or smaller, and it just annoys me. And so I try to keep it the same where possible. So I don't know if it didn't annoy me as much. And then sometimes I just have to get over it because, like I said, here we go up and down a little bit, and it does annoy me more than it probably should. But sometimes you can't get past it. Some of the Malazan books are slightly different sizes too, unfortunately. So at some point, I just have to get over it because some of them I can get different copies, some of them I can't. Half Price Book with my mother-in-law almost brought Prince of Dogs. We didn't want her to see the. I know it's bad, but it's a great book. Okay, it really is. Like, I don't know. I do think though it was a strategic choice for them to stop putting cover art on the spine. I feel terrible to say that, and like I mean, it's their paintings, and I don't remember. I think the artist has done like a lot of fantasy or something. Because I think I looked it up at one point, but like the covers are not my taste, and maybe at the time they were looked at better. I like the art style. I think is interesting and draws the eye, but the covers themselves are not the best by any means. But the books are so good, and that's one of the things I feel like is, and that's right. I'll joke about the covers while talking about how good the books are because I feel like people are just like, oh, that doesn't look good. Versus me, I'm like, I'm really curious. This is some weird art. You do alphabetical order? I don't think I could live with that. That would be, I mean, because it would be like it makes sense from like a library standpoint or like a bookstore standpoint, but on my own actual shelves, like it's usually like how much I like it determines how high it is to an extent. As we've seen, sometimes I'm just looking for size and shape, but like it's like Wheel of Time and Crown of Stars and Sanderson. I got my Tad Williams over here. I got my Robin Hobb and John Gwynne, and like so I try to really do that with size too. But I just like I don't know. That would I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that at all. I just I'm shocked just thinking about it. I'm like, how? I'm really curious what it would look like now though, but I just feel like it'd be kind of a mess. And like I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. That's hardcore. That is hardcore. Yeah. I don't know. It's like it's weird that feels like such a bold choice and like just wrong to me because like alphabetical should be correct. And like I do try to keep authors together where possible with size, which is why it annoys me when they're different. But like if it's not the same size, the author's not going together. That's just how it's gonna go for the most part. So that's why like my long series and thankfully like Sanderson, who I have a ton of his books, are all the same size hardcovers, so that kind of works. But even his are actually split between two shelves. He used to have his own shelf, but Crown of Stars needed some top booking because I want people to see that and talk about it. So series together. Yeah, I feel like series together makes sense. I don't think I can even own series that are the same size. It's hard, Derek. I get it. Believe me, I do. It's rough sometimes, but at the same time, I just like if I really enjoy a series, I like to collect physical copies. I'm a big physical media person and a collector when it comes to books. And I have started to adapt where I will do some audio and some ebook things. So like the amount of things I have on ebook that have saved me from having to do even more reorganization is great. And like if I read a book and I'm not a huge fan, or even if I like a book, if I don't think I will ever reread that book, I've gotten really good the last few years about just getting rid of it. Because if I read a book and I enjoy it, but I'm like, am I ever going to reread this? Probably not. I'll just pass it on so somebody else can enjoy it. But books that I might reread or books that I like would definitely like loan out to people, which I don't really loan books much because I'm not very trusting and I don't know a lot of people who read. But yeah, so that kind of stuff I keep, and I don't reread nearly as much as I used to. But like there's a lot of books here. Like I've reread a lot of the Sanderson. I'll definitely reread Crown of Stars. There's a audiobooks for Crown of Stars now, which have been coming out over time. So I might do that at some point to try out since I actually do audio now. But yeah, I like the collection. Definitely, collecting is definitely an element of it. But I mean, I don't get books I don't plan on reading, and I don't usually keep books I have no intention of rereading. Uh, my nonfiction section is by topic, then by author. So those, you know what though? But see, that's the thing. It being nonfiction, I feel like it's suddenly acceptable. I feel like you think of a nonfiction shelf, and all different shapes and sizes work a lot. Which, just for the record, Derek, by the way, I got you right here. You and Andrew D. Meredith fit perfectly with this size of paperbacks I had on this shelf. So got a nice spot there. You'd also think, you think the side, or like you think the middle is the place of honor, but I actually, I try to keep books that I want to be more visible to the sides, because normally in my videos, I'm like here-ish blocking the middle, so you're not going to see things on the side. So like I have the Echo Saga, which I haven't read, and a bunch of Anthony Ryan, which I haven't read in the middle, and then I got some of my self-pub over there, my self-pub over here, and then these ridiculous Last Thomas Covenant Chronicle books, which are also different sizes, so I have them shoved off to the side so you can't notice the one that's different. So yeah, but you know what's funny is we've actually I thought we were going to trickle down in viewers. It's actually gotten a little bit back up. It's been a little off and on as people kind of hop in, but I just figured I'm like, people are gonna probably get bored very quickly with this, but it's like I had to do it anyway. So people asked for it, and so it's nice. It's nice everybody who showed up. Thanks. It makes it a lot more fun chatting and everything. Hopefully you can still hear me. Nobody has complained about sound yet, but I was using Bluetooth headphones and they died, so I switched to just the camera. The camera I think picks up pretty well, but I'm trying to remember to project when I'm turned the other direction. So I was gonna say that definitely Andrew D. Meredith is a great book neighbor. So it's definitely the books I really enjoyed. So it's nice, like I said though, because at first with some of the self-pub books, I didn't have enough of them, and so they weren't the same size to fit anywhere. And I still run into that occasion, like I was talking about Gerzel, which is kind of an awkwardly sized hardcover. And like it's a nice looking book, and I want it somewhere, but it doesn't fit anywhere. And I even tried, because I don't know if Anita's still here, but I even put it somewhere, and I'm like, this will probably be fine. Nobody's going to notice that this is like a different size. Immediately she goes from like, why is that there? And I'm like, see, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one to notice these things. Oh, man. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. I'm trying to remember where we are. This is the thing I keep forgetting. I still need a book to join the Tad Williams shelf. And then whenever the last book in this series comes out, if it's thicker than this, I'll probably have to reorganize this again, probably. Or if I ever am lucky enough to luck into a hardcover Dragonbone chair, which I doubt. Like usually that goes for like almost $100 if you can even find one. And so I'm probably not ever going to luck into that one. That's why I kept my paperback. But I couldn't pass up getting hardcovers of the other ones because I found those actually really affordably. Oh, that's totally good. I also like. I was joking about viewers because just like I said, this is kind of a weird live stream, but also I forgot to even post about this until like 10 minutes before it was going to come out. So I don't know if people get notifications when I created the link or anything, or like when I'm going live. I know sometimes I do, I guess, on my phone. I get notifications when people are going live. But I didn't even post this around Discord or anything until like 10 minutes before because I completely forgot. So like, I can't really blame anyone for either not knowing or being late by any means. So, and I mean, this is a real casual stream too, but it's been nice having people show up. So I feel like I haven't done a live show where like no one showed up. I don't think. Even I've done like one night, I'm just like, you know what, I have some time, and I just randomly went live with no planning at all, and had a pretty good crowd. So it's always nice hang out with people and whatnot on these, and so keep me company and judge me for my choices while I organize the shelves. So I haven't gotten that much judging so far, not for the most part. I fully expect and embrace it. So if you're holding back, let me know. But so yeah, so we need a short hardcover and a UK paperback size. I think that's mostly it to at least get it in order, but I'm going to check over here and see if there's anything else I was forgetting that I wanted to shelve. Because there probably is. There probably is. I forgot about this. I was debating on if I was going to put this on this shelf or the other one, since I'll do special editions, but it still looks like a hardcover even with the blue pages. So this should probably go on this shelf. But now I have to make room for it if I want to do that. What size are you? This is this size. Oh, it almost fits. It's so close. What if I... I was going to say, what if I take this novella and I put that on top, but then I'm like, should I then put the other Tad Williams thing on the Tad Williams shelf? Is it blasphemy if I have another Tad Williams book and I don't put it on that shelf and I put Dune up there instead? Is that... Anybody have thoughts? So Derek signed up for the notification. Oh, okay. I honestly am never sure, I guess, because I never think about it. And I've never, like, if you watch to the very end of my videos, I do the whole, hey, like and subscribe, check out the Discord and all that. But I've never done, nor do I really plan to, like, to start every video with, hey, click that bell notification icon, blah, blah, blah. Or whatnot. So like I don't really pay a ton of attention to that kind of stuff. I'm just like, hey, if you're watching the video, you know where to find me. You know, I post on Discord when I remember to, but I feel like most of my regular viewers, like, they know my schedule and are probably gonna find this stuff. Stuff like this, I really should be better just because this is not a like normal scheduled thing or anything. But so it's I try to be better with that. Well, hello, Mr. Rorosuri. I am definitely organizing them. So, and then Alice. So the Sanderson leather bounds are actually not in here. That was where I was talking about. I have, there's a shelf that's out in our like sitting living area. It's just kind of like the extra area attached to our dining room. And that has like all of my special edition, like the really fancy ones, all together there. Because if I've always waffled on that because like they would definitely look nice in here, but I kind of like having just all of the fancy books together. And previously, all of these were there too, but I ran out of room. I also am gonna have to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do with Tress. When I get Tress, is that gonna join these shelves? Is it gonna join that shelf? But I was just saying I'm on webcam, or I would just I would just go bring the camera over there, but. Let me try and run and take a picture of it and see if I can send it to myself or show the camera. We'll see if that works. Be right back. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these messages. One of my dogs tried to join the stream, but then he walked away. Set it for the stream. Oh. Okay, that is the winning comment right there. Where's my mouse? That is the winning comment. Kay, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm sorry for also having a hidden shelf. That's fantastic. So let's see. You can actually see this, but this is the other room. You can actually see that pretty clearly. What do you know? If I can hold it still. So we have the Sandersons, which is a good chunk, and then my leather Eye of the World, and then Hitchhiker's Guide, Monte Cristo. Then I have just like one of those premium looking hardcovers they sell that are like mixes of stuff. Well, it was good. Let's see if I can get it to focus again. There we go. On the bottom, there's some of my other like Barnes and Noble leather bounds there. Got a Lord of the Rings, Fancy Hobbit, Sherlock Holmes, the Decameron. I have a really nice Three Musketeers there too. So yeah, that's kind of, I just keep the fancy books there on that shelf, which is just just on the other side of the opposite wall from the bookshelf, actually, is where that is. So no one yelled at me about my plot to, no, didn't. Nobody yelled at me about my plot to put The Heart of What Is Lost up here and put Dune up there. So we're going to try it, and we're going to see how we feel about that. That looks nice. I felt like Dune needed a spot on the shelf. I feel like that looks nice. So even though I'm pretty sure the other Tad Williams book would fit now, but we might just leave Dune up there until I get another new Tad Williams book and see how it goes. Yes, yep. They do have a special place. They have like they're on a more exclusive shelf that like the normal books don't even get to go to because they're they're fancy. So I always I always refer to that as my fancy bookshelf because yeah, it's got that, and like my wife has some books on it too. Which the Stephen King one that was in that picture is I got that for my wife because she likes Stephen King. I don't so much, but I really like the leather-bound Barnes and Nobles. Which, speaking of, I think I did put it out there. I was gonna say I actually think I have another one I just got because I had one in my last book haul. But yeah, the Barnes and Noble leather-bounds, they're cheap and they're really nice books. And so I have several of those for books that I like because I just love the way they look. But I also just felt like that would be a lot of shelf space that would take up. And so I did not end up putting them here. But I always feel like it's like those are, you'd think I should show them off. Maybe I should I've been needing to refilm my intro for forever. Maybe I'll include a pass over those for my intro or something whenever I redo it. I fell behind. That's okay. Okay. So we have that squared away. I try not to put too many books on top. The funny thing is my wife, who is not nearly as picky as me with books, she hates it when I put books sideways. It annoys the heck out of her, even though she's not even in here a lot. And so, because I used to have some books sideways to have them fit better. Or like I used to occasionally face some out, which I kind of like that, facing a book out into display. And I used to do that until it got to the point where I'm just like, I don't have enough room for this. But like these are my tiny, like where else am I going to put this tiny little mass market size hardcover of Dawn Shard? And then like I have Emperor's Soul, which this is a UK exclusive hardcover that my Half Price Books had for some reason. They had a bunch of them. And so I'm like, sure, why not? Because I'm pretty sure this is an Arcanum Unbounded, but I thought it looked cool. So that's why I have those there. And I figured it would be fine. But we're doing pretty good. I haven't had to take a ton of books off so far, besides some that were probably fine to come off anyway, to be honest. So it wasn't a huge deal. I am going to move these a little bit because the way this is set up, this shelf has the little lip. And so I want a smaller book on the lip. Maybe even smaller. Maybe it'll be Frankenstein. Yeah, okay. That works. I also like how much bigger Three Musketeers is than all of these. Also, like some of these books I didn't realize would be so short. Like this is Jekyll and Hyde. Real tiny. Frankenstein is shorter, but like decent. But yeah, Jekyll and Hyde came. Maybe I'll actually read that one since it's so darn short. But I have read almost none of these classics. I've read The Three Musketeers, and I have a really nice version of that as well. I think that's literally it. I haven't read any of the rest. Yeah, I'm not very well read with classics. Count of Monte Cristo I have out on the fancy shelf. I have a really old beat up copy, which I haven't gotten rid of. I I still have it, my old Penguin copy. This is usually the one I actually read. As you can tell, it's been read several times. And like, it's not in terrible condition, but it's old and has been read several times. So it doesn't get a shelf spot for those reasons. All right, so we need UK. That's too tall. I know I have some. UK. I am pretty sure these are all the correct size. What? They're not. Okay, these are not the right size. I thought they were for sure. These two are, though. So that can probably stay. I really thought that was the right size. I'm like a little shocked. I have room here. Oh no! Okay. I switched out, I put Servant Mage there, which almost fit. And now I need something else. This is the right size. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. All right, so I need more UK paperback size books, which I have some, but I don't have a lot of. Is the rub. I don't have a ton anymore. All right, what time is it? 6:23. All right, I have about 20 minutes to finish. So let's get serious, you guys. Let's find some books. Okay. Right now, I'm not even really looking at what they are so much as are they the right size is kind of what we're shooting for at this point. See, I feel like, though, if I put this one up here, I'm going to get yelled at because the other two are down here in a different size. But we're going to put it for now just because I want to at least fill the shelf. And I can always change things later if need be. Wait a minute. Wait a gosh darn minute. These are the right size, aren't they? No, one of them is taller for some reason. Seriously? Apparently book 2 and 4. And I have where's book 1? Because explain this to me, publishers. Book 1, 2, and 4? Why? Why are they like this? Why is book 4 slightly shorter than books 1 and 2? Explain to me, Titan Books. So that's a no-go. Thought I was good. Thought I had it saved. Too tall. Too tall. That means this is definitely too tall. UK paperback, I swear, is the size. After getting rid of, because originally this was all Realm of the Otherlings, but I got rid of the last 7 books for reasons which we won't get into on the stream. But so then between that and Faithful and the Fallen, that filled most of a shelf. So now that I have the big Faithful and the Fallens, it is a lot harder to fill this shelf. But I swear I have more. Are these books all too tall? It is slightly too tall, yeah. Ugh. All right. What do I have? That's a UK. Wait a minute. Wait a gosh darn minute. I almost forgot about Guns of Dawn and the Ember Blade. And we will slap these ones over here. Oh my gosh, it fits. It fits. Huzzah! All right. I think that mostly does it for the books I really need to do. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with all these Discworld books, because they might have to go. If I redo the bottom shelf, I could probably put some of them there, but they'll probably just get stacked somewhere for now. Eventually, I do plan to get more of these fancy hardcover Discworld books, but they're kind of expensive, and so I'm just planning to get them as I go. I do also have hidden weird-sized Discworld books up here, so maybe I could fit more. I wonder if I can just fit them all behind the shelf. But since I know I'm eventually going to replace them with nicer copies, the ones that I plan to reread, because like as I read, I haven't kept all of my Discworld books. It's also like my half-price books, it'll get them in sometimes, and then they'll be immediately gone. So I always make sure to take back any I'm not going to keep, just so that it's like other people can read them and give them a shot. So, but that's a pretty good reorganized. Now just the question of if there's anything else I wanted to move around. I was going to sit in my chair, but it's full of Discworld. Who could have done that? Couldn't have been me. I wouldn't have put Discworld in my chair. I definitely fancy these. Yeah, I do. I really love them, and I specifically only have some because Andrew was getting rid of some of his, because he was collecting all of them, and then just kind of decided that the ones he read and wasn't a huge fan of, like the sub series, that he was going to get rid of. So I was able to get them from him, which was cheaper than buying them new. And so I'm like, okay, that works. And so yeah, but like the Guards series, I definitely want to have, and like Small Gods, I definitely want to have. But some of the earlier books that I did already read, I don't plan to get, because like I really enjoy Discworld for the most part, and I don't think any of them are necessarily bad, but there's also some that I definitely would not actually reread. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at there. I did have some books that were displaced. We still at this point, we took off the Terry Brooks trying to get rid of. We displaced the first two Age of Madness, Republic of Thieves. We displaced Black Company and the Bone Shard Daughter, which the Bone Shard Daughter had actually just put up there recently to fill space. And well, this is probably going to go back out on the fancy bookshelf because this is a very fancy book. I love this book, and this is the illustrated hardcover, which, oh, I gotta be careful, I almost dropped it. Very beautiful book. I love this book, and I was randomly at Barnes & Noble and saw that this existed. I had no idea. So I'm like, I am grabbing that. It's a really pretty book. So I'll go back to the fancy bookshelf out there. And a couple of other hardcovers that got displaced. I'm still kind of surprised nobody's upset with me for not putting my one other Ted Williams book up there instead of Dune. But I only have one other Lind book. It's book 3 it's going to be years before I actually read Otherland, because I plan on reading Shadow March first, which is up there, and then Last King Lost in Ard, which all of the books that are out are now up there because I got the last 2 I needed. So I keep trying to look here because this is normally where my camera would be, and the camera is there. And so it's throwing me off. But yeah, I still have a lot of books. Like, that was just, honestly, that wasn't even doing a full, like, deciding if there's new books I want to put up and old ones I want to take down. That was, I have very specific books that needed to go. And it's like, I needed to get, Faithful and Fallen, Worth, Light and Shadow, the new Ted Williams, Greenbone Saga. Like, those were all just books I really needed to get on there. And so, what do we got? I need more books. What are you talking about? But I was gonna say I will. I'll do my normal thing once I have like a final like unhaul of like, okay, these are the ones I'm gonna get rid of. I usually post in Discord, be like, okay, this is your chance before I take them to half price books, which I will probably do. I've got quite a lot in my unhaul box right now. But like some things I just added, like the UK Faithful and the Fallen. I assume somebody will want those, and some other stuff. So, but most of them I don't want to get rid of. Okay. Okay, maybe I don't need more books. I'm pretty well capacity. I've done a couple of big unhauls though, but Andrew lately, he's been threatening to come out here and force me to unhaul his books. He has this fun idea for a collab where he comes in and personally attacks me and forces me to get rid of books. And so yeah, I'm afraid for my life. Oh man. So yeah, I'm looking around. I'm trying to see if there's any other things that I should change, because like I got rid of most of my mass market paperbacks. I say that I have all the bottom of all of the shelves are mass market paperbacks, all down there. But that's like I have the Deathgate cycle, which I plan to try at some point. I have some miscellaneous ones that I definitely plan to try. I have some like David Gemmell, some Kate Elliott, Demon Cycle, Lives of Lamora, Book of the Ancestor, Green Rider, a couple of Malazan books, miscellaneous ones. So there's definitely more there. I need to redo. I haven't done one in a bit. I had some books set out for it actually, but then I ended up I hadn't gotten to it in a while. Do another Trying First Chapters one, which one of those books was actually, which I just saw somebody's reading in Discord today. I thought that was funny. It was Rules of Ascension by David B. Coe. This was set. I had this sitting out. This and 4 other mass market paperbacks sitting on a side table for months because I was planning on doing another one of those first chapter videos, and I just didn't get to it because those take a while. Because it depends how long the chapters are, but like some of them have like a 30-page first chapter. So if you're doing that 5 times, easily can get to 100, 150 pages. So like it takes a while to do the first chapter ones, and some of them don't. But yeah, I don't know. So eventually I need to do another one of those videos as well. But I got rid of most of my like non-essential mass market paperback books. And I need to, and I've been saying for a while, focus on reading the series I'm not sure if I'm going to want to keep so that I can, make a decision and get rid of them. But there's only so much time in a year, So it's always a struggle, the TBR problems. I know I'm preaching to the choir mostly. But yeah, so that's that. So now if you want the inside scoop, we have this is the overflow shelf, which is pretty full. That's sorry for that. And then over there is my TBR, MBR shelf. Sorry if that was jarring, but now it's all crooked. Yeah, so there's many more books. I'm gonna have to reorganize the overflow shelf. Right now I just stacked Discworld up over there, but yeah. I've gotten better about unhauling. I do have a couple of books that like I'm not going to read again most likely, but I also didn't want to get rid of. Like, so for example, we have Blackest Heart, which I think I unhauled. Yeah, there's a lot of shelves, and then the secret one. But it's my overflow shelf. That was the first bookshelf I had. It was the only bookshelf I had until I got the middle one. And then slowly after joining BookTube, I needed the two side shelves. And the like TBR MBR shelf is a pretty recent addition. And that's just like a little 3 shelf. So it's not a full shelf. It's sitting on top of an old box TV, just for the record. So it is only a 3 shelf. So it's not a whole nother shelf. But yeah. Blackest Heart, I think I unhauled Forgetting Me, because I'm still planning on reading the last one just to see how it goes. But maybe I don't remember if I actually did unhaul it or not. It might still be around here somewhere. But it's a series that I was okay with, but it's signed, and so I'm not getting rid of it. Signed and personalized, so like I'll keep this forever, because this was the first book that was ever sent to me by an author, and so definitely keeping it forever with that. And then I have the first book that was sent to me by a publisher, which I still think this was specifically, I feel like they saw my name and racially profiled me as being Italian, and like, he's Italian, let's send him the Mob book. Because I have no idea how these people found me. I assume it was through like NetGalley or something. But this Giovanni's Ring, which is like a like half true crime, half memoir thing about a monster. And I'm like, I did a review for this. Like, I told them I would. They sent it to me, and I was just like, it felt so weird. But I'm like, it honestly wasn't bad. Like, it's not my kind of thing. It's not a genre I really read. But it was a pretty solid book, I thought. But so just the first time it was sent to me, so I'm keeping that. And then we have Daughter of Red Winter. I did not like this book, but this is the first ever like physical arc I was sent by a publisher. That like this one doesn't count because this was already a book that was out. They were just trying to get publicity. But this was like physical art sent to me by a publisher, which is Tor, which, I don't know how I feel about them right now. They're still mad at me, but I didn't really like this. But the fact that they actually reached out and sent me this physical art, I didn't reach out to them. They reached out to me, and I'm still like blown away that freaking Tor reached out to me. Of course, unfortunately, I didn't like this or In the Shadow of Lightning, which they pre-approved me for an e-arc for, and also reached out to me proactively, and I didn't like either. And so now they're probably not going to want to give me anymore, which I get. But yeah, it was a couple of bad ones. Like, I still love Tor. So yeah, those are, I keep them over on the overflow shelf just because that's cool. Like, I don't plan to get rid of them either. And then like, you didn't see anything. To be fair, this book is gonna be fine. Like, I have I found this at a thrift store. It's a fake like Richard Castle book from the show Castle, which like has a picture of Nathan Fillion on the back, and so it's pretty cool. And this is like some promotional thing I guess did. Apparently they did several of these. Somebody told me last time I mentioned this, but I thought it was cool, and so I just I grabbed it at a thrift store, and I'm like, that's really cool. So randomly have that, and then like I have, this is the somebody had this signed in person and sent it to me, and like, granted, now I have this leather bounds which are signed, but I have the signed and personalized Wall of Ascension, really old, beat up. I've had this for so many years, but also, I'm not gonna get rid of it because it's signed and personalized. So yeah, so I have that too. So a couple things I got over here. There's just a lot of books that I eventually need to get to. I blame, like I said, I mean, it's not even all my fault. I blame Andrew for a lot of it, because Andrew's always like either recommending me books or like I get books from him, and then people are always recommending me books. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I still need to go back. I don't think I ever finished Castle because I was watching it, and then I didn't have TV for a couple of years, so I never finished it. And I think it's one of the last shows that I need to go back and actually finish. because I watched some other ones like that years later on streaming. But yeah, it was a good show. I love Nathan Fillion, so I was pretty sold. But it was a really solid show. So, gonna get ready to wrap up here in a few minutes. I plan to stop this after an hour and a half at 6:45, and we actually, like I said, got through. So I was kind of trying to do a look. So we'll do. Here's the shelves. Who's got complaints, suggestions, any last minute things I should take into account, or move things around? I've got it's. I feel like it's looking pretty good. I absolutely love, and I don't think it's super clear because the lighting is kind of glary, but Peril's Gate over there just looks, I really love the way that one looks from the shelf with that spine specifically. I just like, my eyes are drawn to that book specifically. We have the new tab, we have Greenbone up there. I don't know how happy I am with the UK paperback shelf because we have all of the white and off-white and then the miscellaneous other things. Thought it looked better before, but I don't have anything else to go there right now. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, otherwise it's looking pretty good. I don't feel like I had to move a ton, and I got a lot of stuff on there. I mean, I'm specifically blaming Andrew because he's doing a live and not here to defend himself. I mean, he'll admit it, but I also I'm the reason Andrew's gotten way too many books. He's just way better at unhauling than I am. So he unhauls a lot more, but then I get a lot of his unhaul books. And I could say no, like I don't, because I have a problem. But yeah, I have so many books here that I've gotten from Andrew because he'll send me books sometimes, but I've also been out to see him several times, and I always end up coming home with books because we go to bookstores, and because he'll unhaul some books to me and whatnot as well, and so it's like always coming back with books. But Book Outlet has been like that was also a huge part of it as well. So and she always tells me I shouldn't order from Book Outlet. Like, I find a lot of good stuff there, but I also just get a lot of miscellaneous things there. And those are the ones that like I really need to try some of those series because I don't know if I'm gonna like them or not. But it's yeah. I know it's my own fault with all of the books, but it's still it's looking pretty good. There's something about looking at the shelves, especially after reorganize, that's just so peaceful. Maybe I'll just like leave the stream on for an hour so you can just stare at this. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know, like that's like I said, going back to kind of the collecting thing is this is my office. So like I work in here every day, and oh my gosh, did somebody tell him, Andrew? Aren't you quite literally on a stream right now? I see. There you go. He knew with his wizard powers. Oh, he's coming to my house to take away all my books. I told them about that earlier. I told them that you're threatening to have a fun collaboration where you come and attack me and make me get rid of all the books. But you did show Andrew. I'm literally ending this in 1 minute. I was just wrapping up. It's all good. I said I didn't realize until afterwards that you were doing a reading sprint. So just for the record, everybody, I think Andrew has a reading sprint that's going on like now. Yeah, 126. So he's got a reading sprint live that's going right now. So if you if you need something to do after this, want to jump on and read, you can jump over to that stream. I'm assuming they're in reading time, and he saw a message I sent him earlier, is what it sounds like and looks like. But yeah, so you can jump over there. But I gotta run. But this has been fun. Thanks to everybody who showed up. It's been great. Oh my gosh, the comments are killing me right now. But it's been great. Thanks for showing up and watching and hanging out, chatting. I've never had so much fun reorganizing my shelves. So maybe I will do this the next time I have a big reorganization, because this was fun. This was just kind of fun to do. It's just chat while I'm doing it. So I'm pretty happy overall with how it turned out. We'll see if I get angry comments later and go from there. But yeah, thanks everybody. I'll talk to you later. if I can end the stream, there's the button.